Hey, we are live. Hi, guys. This is Thunder E from Board at Work, and welcome to my review of the amazing Spider-Man 2. I just came back from the movie. We had a viewing today, 7 p.m. So it was pretty cool that we were able to do that. People are probably going out to watch the movie about 12 midnight or so tonight. So I wanted to give you my thoughts on The Amazing Spider-Man 2. This won't be too long since it's just me here tonight, but I'm gonna give you thoughts about the movie, the actors. I'm trying to keep away spoilers here. So, first general thoughts of the movie, Amazing Spider-Man 2. So, was it good? Was it bad? Was it rubbish? I've seen mixed reviews left and right. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's not perfect. I'll put it this way. It's not a perfect movie, but you know what? This is a much better Spider-Man movie, and I love what they're doing here. Now, let me preface this by saying that I think this Spider-Man series is better than the Sam Raimi Spider-Man series. We all know Spider-Man 3 was crap. Spider-Man 2 was beloved by a lot of people, but I think this series just does a lot much better. Now, let's talk about a couple of things. Now, first off, we know there are three villains in this movie, but it's really not three villains. I remember watching Jeremy John saying it's one and a half villains. I'd say it's just one villain, one and a quarter more than anything else in terms of villains for this movie. So I think you have very few. You don't have a lot of villains. It's not like Spider-Man 3 where you had a bunch of villains altogether. This really is one villain. It's Electro. Electro is the main villain here. To be honest, Rhino, one scene. The scene you saw Rhino in the trailer, yeah, that's it. So I'm just going to tell you that so you don't get disappointed with that. Dane DeHaan as Green Goblin or the Goblin or whatever he's called. A couple of scenes there also in there, but it's really about Electro. And when I say about Electro, I'm talking about villains. But this movie is not about villains. This is not a villain-based Spider-Man movie. That's kind of probably why they mentioned the Sinister Six. This really is a Peter Parker, Gwen Stacy story. Yeah, it's really about Peter Parker. It's really about him being Spider-Man and that aspect of it, and also Gwen Stacy. If you know the Peter Parker Gwen storyline from the comic books, you know where it goes. I'm just gonna put it that way. If you don't know it, you'll see. And I will tell you, the chemistry is just—it's there. You can see it. Then again, also both actors, Emma Stone and I just forgot Spider-Man's name, both dating in real life. So you can actually see that chemistry there. And that chemistry shows up on screen. It's great. It's real. One thing I like about this movie is that it really shows you that Spider-Man's life sucks. And that's one of the things in the comic books. If you ever read a Spider-Man comic, his life sucked, and not necessarily just because he didn't have a job or he wasn't getting paid well by Jim Jameson, who's kind of hinted, not shown, but hinted in this movie. But really, it's just a lot of things. He's a high school student. He's graduated from high school now. He's getting to college, and things are just rough. And not you have to watch it to see. I'm trying not to spoil it, but they do a good job in really showing you that Spider-Man his life is not easy. It's not an everyday life for a teenager to go through. Now, in terms of the pacing, now here are the parts that I think didn't do it too well. The pacing in the movie felt a little bit disjointed at times, especially in the middle, because there's a huge chunk in the middle that deals with the relationship. That kind of felt disjointed a little bit, and also the storyline with the parents also felt like it didn't really connect all the way. I understood why. I just didn't like the way they did it throughout, but it still made sense to me. It's their own little spin from the comic books and all that, and I think a lot of viewers will understand and like it, but it's a very different spin altogether. And they placed some of their logic to why things work a certain way. So I think that goes a long way with it. Now, in terms of say the action sequences, now that looked dope. I gotta tell you, just put it this way. So before I watched this movie, I was on a flight back, traveling back to Boston, and on my flight on JetBlue, they had the original Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3, actually 1, 2, 3. I watched Spider-Man 2 on my flight back, And I was watching some of the him scenes of Spider-Man swinging through the city, and it looked kind of cheesy. It didn't look as good as I thought it was back then. And I'm watching the Spider-Man movie, and they got these swinging sequences through the city. It looked awesome. It looked like Spider-Man was swinging through New York City. I mean, I go to New York, so I know how New York is, and you can feel him like swinging and moving around. Really felt organic. I really felt cool, so I love that part. Also, even the fight sequences, just the way he moved around, his agility, was solid. Andrew Garfield, yes, that's his name. Andrew Garfield, to me, also did a fantastic job. He is Spider-Man. I don't care what people say. He does a good job, especially the wisecracking jokes, the way he talks in his Spider-Man outfit while he's Spider-Man. Does a very good job. As Peter Parker, also does a good job there, because this is a period in Peter's life where he's going through some struggles, and he doesn't pull a whiny Peter Parker. It's more of like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I need to do. I'm young. I'm not old. I need to find out what I need to do here, and as part of my life. So that part I really liked, the way, excuse me, they did that with the Spider-Man storyline. So that's cool. Dane DeHaan, who plays Harry Osborn, does a fantastic job. He plays Harry pretty well, so you get a feeling of how Harry's angst comes to be and comes out. Emma Stone is also great as Gwen Stacy. I really loved her Gwen Stacy. It was very grounded, kind of, really. I mean, to me, again, I think everybody did a very good job here. Now, in terms of Electro, played by Jamie Foxx. Electro was on point. Jamie Foxx did a good job of creating a creepy, weirdish character that really, you can tell that, even though he doesn't have a lot of backstory to him, you can understand why he is what he is, and what has become of it. The main thing in Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, is that Oscorp is a bad company. Just put it that way. It's a very bad company. Everything bad's from Oscorp. You can tell from the first movie, and that's just the theme of the Spider-Man movie altogether. We know there's Sinister Six coming out, there's a Spider-Man 3, and Sinister Six is already hinted in this movie. Clearly, it's not like it's one of those things where you can catch. It's clearly hinted in this movie. You see it, and also if you're going to watch, when you watch this movie, stay till the end credits. The song displaying, basically use your Shazam app to listen to the song, and you get some of the images, and the images show the 6 members of the Sinister Six. The ones I can definitely confirm are Rhino, Goblin himself. One looks like Mysterio. I'll put the images up with the Google Plus page of this hangout. One looks like Mysterio, Doc Octopus, and I would say I'm thinking the Vulture's in there. Some say Kragen's in there. I don't know. We'll see with those characters, but it seems like they want to expand this universe, and it is. I like the art. After watching this movie, I get and understand, because Spider-Man really is the center, and I love the fact they've made him the center, really the center of this world, where he's loved, he's hated, and it's really about Spider-Man. And the good thing about Amazing Spider-Man 2 is that before it's about Spider-Man, it's about Peter Parker. And if you really want to understand what Spider-Man is about, it's the same thing with all comic book characters, really. It's like, before you understand Batman, it's about Bruce Wayne. Not necessarily Bruce Wayne, the billionaire, but how Bruce Wayne became Batman, how his mentality forms. And this movie is kind of like the formation of who Spider-Man truly is as a character. And that's why I like it. It feels kind of like a first movie in a way, not a second movie. So which kind of bodes well for Spider-Man 3, I think, or at least Sinister Six, that those feel like, second or third movie. So this kind of feels like a first movie. It's kind of weird. When I watched it, I kind of felt like I was learning about Spider-Man again, even though I know it, and we saw it from the first movie, in the Amazing Spider-Man, the first Amazing Spider-Man. So it was pretty cool. It was a cool movie. There were good action sequences. This is truly a Peter Gwen story more than a Spider-Man story. It was not crowded with villains, although it felt crowded with content. And that's what you will see. It's not crowded with villains, it's more crowded with content. Maybe they were trying to make me feel like, Spider-Man's life is loaded. If that's the case, they got that right. But there's some of my issues there, and that's where some of my issues are with this movie. But still a very good movie. One I say definitely go check out this weekend. Go watch it. You really will enjoy The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Andrew Garfield does a very good job as Spider-Man. Emma Stone is also good as Gwen Stacy. Dane DeHaan does a very good job as the Goblin, as well as Jamie Foxx. So everyone plays a very good job in this movie. I think all the casting choices are right. The action sequences are good. It's a little choppy in the center, and I think hopefully we'll see improvements in the long run from the way this movie is done. But I think it was good. So let's see if you have any questions here. Again, I tried not to say anything spoilerish, just giving you thoughts on the movie so that you don't get pissed, or you might say, oh shit, I don't want to watch this movie anymore because Thunder E just spoiled this for me completely. But I think as a whole, The Amazing Spider-Man, I think that's Amazing Spider-Man 2, I think they did a very good job with it. As much as I thought this might be a complete complex hot mess, it wasn't the case, so which is good. But we'll see. Now, what I'm really interested is hearing your thoughts on this movie. If you've seen it and you're checking out this review, please leave your thoughts. I want to know what you think about the way the movie was, about the story elements, about the action sequences, about the villains, about Peter Parker, Gwen Stacy, all that stuff, Electro, everything you've seen in this movie. Let me know your thoughts, and also the idea of the Sinister Six coming down the line in here. And it's kind of sad that they shut down the idea of Miles Morales, because actually I really hope that with the Sinister Six movie they kill off Spider-Man, Peter Parker. I mean, I would love to see that, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So anyway, those are my thoughts on The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and my final verdict: go watch the movie this weekend. Check it out. Leave your thoughts with me. Let me know. Also, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and favorite this video so we can make more videos like this for you, part of our comic book talk. So this is Thunder E. Please do subscribe to the channel, top right-hand corner of the screen, or the subscribe button below in the description. And I want to say thank you, and always enjoy your entertainment.